It's Julian Wilson, a former finalist here, now takes on Frederico Morais.
Of the day yesterday. Looks like while we were away, Frederico got an exchange. Oh, wow. He's just looking to set those feet on his board. Wow, big power turn from the staunch Portuguese man.
Just a low-scoring ride, though, a 4 for the 25-year-old, who stands 6'1", currently sitting in 18th position. He struggled with these earlier rounds. Let's see what he can do on wave number 3. High line, loads up all that speed and unloads. Nice big carving approach there. Tries to get that board into the bowl a couple of times on the inside, just manages that one extra turn.
Julian Wilson, I feel like he's just right there begging for a great result in an event.
Well, Julian's had a couple of rough years in the opening events of the season, and really 2017's no different. Counts a couple of 13ths and a couple of 9ths at this stage of the game. But the form's been there. Lost out in a close heat at Bells. You know, is always right there, competing until the last second of each of his heats. That's what his season looks like so far. You expect so much more.
Totally. I think, you know, he's should be that front runner for a world title. Julian Wilson is so talented, so well.
This event. So he does have that op. There's that low center of gravity. He drops to the bottom of this wave and whips that board through a nice first turn. Now looking to set up the barrel, but that wave just pinching a little, so he opts out and then goes to turns once again. Vertical on that last approach. Whipping his board into the hook once again. Here we go, Frederico now taking off. He has a nice wall stretching out in front of him. Thinks for a moment about pulling in and then climbs back up into the pocket and just gets completely slapped down.
Decide not to hunt the barrel down, but let's just get another look at it. You can see him just go directly down to the bottom of this wave. He wants to fit a turn in before he hunts down that barrel section. Decides, split-second decision, to get back to his rail like a hot knife through butter. 3 hits on that wave for Julian. Watch as he goes directly down, waits for it, and just unleashes that turn. Another surfer that never fully extends his body. He's always waiting to attack. So 3 solid hits from Julian Wilson. And then Frederico Morais just also waiting for this wave to give him something. And it does as he comes around the second section, a big old slap. So.
But we are going to watch this wave unfold before we cut to that commercial. Julian just winding through a nice backside carve to get started, ripping it into the pocket on that second maneuver. But this wave's going to shut down. Unbelievable stuff as we cut now to live action. And this is Julian's rival, Frederico Morais, who's back in second spot, looking for a 4.94. Julian taking the lead with his last ride. Good looking wall here for the rookie. Bash that thing. But out the back, there's also something looming for the man holding on to priority. Wilson scratching into this one from way out the back. A huge drop, weightless, as he fell down to the floor. And he just throws everything into that first section, drifting the tail right above the lip, the wave flattening out. But he'll get a little bit more on the inside here. He knows that he's on his way to something solid with that first turn. So he tries to milk a couple more points down the line. It's just a shame for Julian that wave didn't really wall up right through to the inside.
Yep, that first turn, strong, critical approach. That's where you can differentiate these two surfers. Owen really has that under the lip. Watch that takeoff too. That's got to be taken into consideration. Watch as he eyes up this lip and just throws it up. So that can be the point of difference between Julian Wilson and Frederico Morais. Julian's ability to hook it and stay critical and wind up, but then unfortunately this wave just fattening up. So that one decent turn for Julian. And then Frederico Morais, the lanky surfer, finds a lateral cut through the face of that wave, hooks it up again. So no missteps, just straight into the bottom turn, top turn combination. But what I'd like to see is him just get a bit more critical.
Scoreable wall to work with. He got the reward for being a bit more aggressive on that first section and having a more vertical approach. Here he goes again, taking off now, stalling for the barrel. This wave is holding open. Julian's going to come out with the spit. That feels good. It was a bit of a frustrating heat for him up until that point. Just couldn't connect with a wave that kept providing down the line. Let's see what Morais can give us on the answer. Glides in, pacing himself, and again just gets knocked down by...
So let's just get eyeballs on this. Another critical takeoff under the lip, slides out that tail, manages to set those fins, riding a quad out at Cloudbreak. He likes it. That vision etched in his mind. That water angle just shows us that he was fully committed to slowing himself down and maximizing his time in that cave. Look at that takeoff, Ron. Just the fins got disengaged for a moment. He was able to maintain it again. We know that Julian loves to ride a quad out here at Cloudbreak.
I think that's just knowledge of the wave too. The world's best surfers, they intentionally get the pressure on that front foot. They let that tail slide out a little bit in order to slow themselves down. A lot of the waves that we've seen already in this contest, you're seeing guys get up on their feet, drawing a line that, you know, really gets them down towards the end section of the wave. They want to carry as much speed as possible, but Julian was just trying to wash it all off in that late drop right under the lip, and he's up again here. An 8.87 for that barrel, and he's trying to get rid of a 6.17 now. Just fading back into the bowl, stepping on the tail, grabs that rail and assumes the stance. Gets Julian just appealing for a bit of an update on his previous ride to his caddy there in the channel.
Yep, and this is Julian straight after logging in the 8.87, back at it again. He wants to find the shish kebab section. Holds himself up in that barrel, but decides to jump off.
Julian Wilson watching on as Morais has a shot at the score, a 9.51. This wave, it's just not going to be enough. Just a little too small. And from what we'd seen on Julian's 8.87, he needed something with a bit of meat on the bone out the back. But Wilson, he is through to round 4. And with a very tidy performance, not just on turns, but also with a bit of backhand tube riding flair. 15.1